Last time I made a video, a few of y'all had a problem with me wearing a Yankees hat. Being a Dolphins fan, also being a Yankees fan, I don't know how it's such a crazy concept, but we had to bust out the Yankees shirt here today because it is sad boy hours with Juan Soto going to the Mets. Very unfortunate, but what's not unfortunate is the play by a man yesterday who has been really scrutinized over the entire season, just as most of the defense has. That's going to be a Mr. Kendall Fuller. He has not played good, and this whole entire Miami Dolphins secondary, really the defense in general, has had a lot of moments this season where you've been asking for more. Really, the whole construction of the defense has been so wrong by Chris Grier, and you can reference my multiple videos I've made by why the Miami Dolphins should let go of Chris Grier. However, this one play made by Kendall Fuller may be the difference of the Miami Dolphins going on a wild card run or missing the playoffs entirely. So just on the surface, you take away the context, there's not a whole lot there going on. A pass to Davante Adams on the sideline, pushed out of bounds with 57 seconds remaining. However, Miami Dolphins without any timeouts, the Jets in field goal position to go on and take the lead. Massive point in the game. The Miami Dolphins had to come up with a stop there. They got a sack on the previous down, and then the Miami Dolphins are able to force Davante Adams out of bounds, getting the clock to stop. And obviously, we all know what unfolded after there. The Jets went on and kick a field goal. Malik Washington, big return down the sideline, set us up in good field position. A few passes from Tua, setting us up with a long Jason Sanders field goal. Dolphins get the football first in overtime and go on in to win the game. Now, I don't need to be the first person to tell you. This has not been the season of destiny for the Miami Dolphins. In fact, quite the opposite. I've referenced that multiple times this season. This has been the season of hell as a Miami Dolphins fan. We were looking into this season with lofty Super Bowl expectations. You brought in quite a few veteran players that might be towards the end of their careers, but you hope they have still something left in the tank. You let go of guys that are moving on to their next contracts, like Christian Wilkins, like Andrew Van Ginkel, and there were questions whether it would work or not, but you assume the Dolphins had enough talent and a healthy enough team that we could potentially not just push for the playoffs, however, push further closer to a Super Bowl title. And obviously that hasn't been the case. There's been so much that has gone wrong with this team. We've talked about it ad nauseum on this channel, and I'm sure so many Dolphins fans are just tired of this season and ready for it to be over with. There is still a chance we make the playoffs. However, if we do make the playoffs with the defense that we've got and looking at the schedule we have ahead, having to win out against the 49ers, against this Texans team coming up this week, another matchup against the Jets up in New York, and a very dangerous Cleveland team at times, it's going to be difficult for the Dolphins to make the playoffs. And even if they do make the playoffs, it's likely a one and done. But just isolating the performance we saw from this team yesterday, and just that play in particular especially, the fight to not give up when everything is against you, when you've seen this team collapse so many times, not just this year, but in years past, we've kind of gotten accustomed to the Miami Dolphins playing games like this, not just under this regime, but really as my entire life as a Dolphins fan. I've been so used to the Miami Dolphins choking away games, losing games that they have a lead, losing games that they should win against inferior opponents. That really had the making of what we saw from the game on Sunday. That play from Kendall Fuller, keeping time on the clock, potentially is a play that saves the season for the Miami Dolphins and lets us push forward for a playoff run. I don't care really what happens at this point for the rest of the season. That moment and that game alone really showed me what I've wanted to see from this Dolphins team for a very long time. A team that at the end of the game, and coming towards the end of the season when you have to win games, it was a gritty game that the Jets really did about everything they could to do to win that game. It was a really good game from Aaron Rodgers, probably his best game of the season. Garrett Wilson was seemingly open all game. Davante Adams was seemingly open all game. It was a game that you very much, I was already picturing the conversation that I was going to be having here on this mic in front of this camera, talking about what happened, talking about what went wrong, and so much did go wrong. It wasn't a perfect game. It wasn't a game that in Dolphins history you'll remember for how beautiful it was and taking down a big opponent. It wasn't that. However, every sign in that moment pointed towards the Miami Dolphins were going to choke the game away. That one play from Kendall Fuller, pushing him out of bounds, saving time on the clock, doesn't seem very significant in that moment, but if the Miami Dolphins end up making the playoffs, obviously I don't think they're going to make a run, but let's just say they do. We can look back to this moment of Kendall Fuller getting Davante Adams out of bounds, out-physicaling his opponent, something the Miami Dolphins have been critical of, or fans have been critical of the Dolphins of for so long, not being able to play physical. In that one individual moment, we saw physicality, we saw resilience, and we saw a big play from a player who this season has not had his best year of his career, and probably is on the downslope of his career. The Miami Dolphins showed toughness. They showed resilience. They showed a fighting effort. They showed that they're still fighting for Mike McDaniel, still fighting for this season. I don't know what the season is going to play out as, but I'm very happy that we won that game. I'll take a ugly win over a beautiful loss every day of the week. We got that done, and thanks to a player who has been heavily scrutinized this year, and deservedly so, the Miami Dolphins still have a chance at the playoffs. Let me know what you thought of the overall play of the game yesterday. We're going to have more videos coming out this week breaking down yesterday's game. Let us know your thoughts on this play and Kendall Fuller, and overall his season in general hasn't been good. However, one individual moment potentially saving the Dolphins season. Let me know your thoughts down below. While down there, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Appreciate y'all very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Go Dolphins.